Hello, my people. Thank you again for joining on another episode. Yes, thank you for subscribing and thank you for your likes and comments. On this particular video, we're going to be seeing where Pastor Mathew Ashimolowo spoke about the rumor that is flying now, Igbo must go, just by one person tweeting, and then the whole social media went on fire. Of course, we heard that there's supposed to be a protest tomorrow, which is 20th of August, but we are not certain if that protest is still going to go on tomorrow. But however, in a recent interview, Pastor Mathew Ashimolowo gave an insight, a background check on why other tribes see Igbo as a threat. Let's watch the video.
There have been rumors.
Yeah.
Igbo must go. How do you see these rumors? The Igbo must go. I mean, I believe that this is our home.
Okay.
Igbos, Yorubas.
Yes.
This is one Nigeria.
Okay.
I mean, gone are those days when my father fought in the war, the Biafra war. But I believe
my father did.
Oh, really?
He died there. Your own dad survived it.
He survived it.
My dad died at the River Niger Bridge at Biafra War. I'm a barrack boy, man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God! So we've somehow we've seen the results of such happening, and then we've said goodbye to that.
Yeah,
we've lived as one. There have been intermarriages. We've coexisted, businesses and everything. Now hearing this rumor about Igbos must go, the Igbo community can invest in Lagos. How valid are these claims, and what impact have they had on the real estate market?
Okay. The question is very voluminous in my attempt to answer. I have to go back again because
and you've been speaking Igbo.
Well, yeah. I have seen Nigeria in different phases. Anytime a place experiences economic downturn, there's always an attempt at a blame game. It's happening right now in the United Kingdom, where some silly boy went and stabbed little children. And these, we call them National Front, these boys who are rightist. We don't want another nation, another people to live in England. They saw it as a chance to now go and be holding riots in every city of England. And they are making noise. I saw a very funny story on TikTok. The guy who is telling it is laughing. Even me, as I was reading, I was laughing. This white young yob with one broken teeth said, we want the foreigners to leave. I couldn't get a job because of them. So the guy who was telling the story said, why couldn't you get a job? He said, because I've been to jail and I have a criminal record. One. What qualification do you have? 2 O levels. So you've been to jail. Was it a foreigner who sent you? You have only 2 O levels. Was it a foreigner that made you get only 2 O levels? So you want Britain to send away Nuruddin, a neurosurgeon who helps to handle people's surgery, and keep you, broken teeth Mr. Yob, who managed to get only 2 O levels in your own country of birth. Only 2 O levels. And you went to jail. I was not Nuruddin who sent you. That answer itself just answers a lot of things. So let's now go back. Sociologically, you cannot say that a people are just this way. Not everybody is that way. But we know that by a general nature, the Igbo person is entrepreneurial. But then also we know that the Yoruba person by nature is very accommodating. In fact, the Yorubas, it's now changed because the country had. When I was a little kid, our parents would cook for people who did not show. Yeah, alejulewa. Stranger may come. We never chop belle food. They cook food for
stranger.
We never. So the Yoruba person is by nature accommodating. The Igbo person is by nature entrepreneurial. That's a broad sociological distribution. Does not mean that every Igbo person is entrepreneurial. Does not mean that every Yoruba person is accommodating. So because of this entrepreneurial capacity of the Igbo person, anywhere he goes, he prospers. I was in Congo to preach in 2003. And I was being told by the Congolese that our electronic market is dominated by the Igbo. Wow. I went to speak in Zimbabwe, same. So it's not a Nigerian thing, it's just an entrepreneurial thing. And they came up with a fantastic training system that's better than all our universities. The boys system.
Yeah.
Where you train under a person to sell, and after 5-6 years you graduate. You may not have all the English. You may not know how to call the things with nice English words, but you have more skill than a PhD economics person.
True.
That's the Igbo person. Meanwhile, the Yoruba person is very accommodated so that there's almost no city in Yoruba land where you cannot buy land. That's not.
Yes.
There's no city in Yoruba land where you cannot stay. However, sometimes issues come up because either we allow pressure. When Nigeria went through, let me start from outside. When in 1969, Ghana went through economic pressure, it threw out Nigerians. Kofi Busia threw out Nigerians in 1969.
Nigerians must go.
Yeah.
So we had that.
Before Ghana must go. Oh, you didn't know? Nigeria must go before Ghana must go. In 1969, Kofi Busia threw them out. I can still see in my head, I was in Ibadan in 1969 when these guys showed. I still see some people in front of a TV, a cinema in Kotedo called Scala. They had no home. They had to sleep in front of Scala Cinema in Kotedo because they are 4th-generation Nigerians that were thrown out of Ghana by Kofi Busia because particularly the Oyo State axis of Yoruba down to a little of Ogun State poured into Ghana. They were the owners of commerce. They were the ones running commerce in Kumasi, every part of Ghana. So Ghana reacted when their economy went down. When Nigeria's economy went down in the days of Shehu Shagari, because under Rawlings, Ghana was under economic problem. Ghanaians poured here. They occupied our schools everywhere, but also they brought downsides of prostitution. So people began to scream, Ghana must go. The whole of Agege was Ghana. 90% of Agege occupation was Ghanaians. But we pushed them into blessing because when we kicked them out, 90% of them went to Hamburg, Germany. Germany received them. The ones Germany didn't receive, Canada received. So this thing is a trend where nations use racism, tribalism, and gentrification, one more word, to throw people out. South Africa have just done it. Killing Nigerians, forgetting that Nigeria paid for their independence. I don't know if you knew.
Yeah.
When the blacks were fighting, when ANC was fighting the whites, kudos to General Olusegun Obasanjo and General Gowon's government. They bankrolled the fight against the whites regime. And not that alone, brought their people here to study. Even their president one time, what's his name now, studied here. Nelson Mandela lived at one time in Nigeria. So it's a problem you get when people are under economic pressure. Now coming down to Lagos, I think there are two sides to it. That Ikoyi you are seeing is not a corner. It's an original group of people who came from Ikoyi town in Osun State. And some of us may not be from that town, but by Yoruba praise, we are also Ikoyi Eso Arogunyo. So it takes me to 1965, 66. During the first coup in Nigeria, I was in Zaria. I was born in the north. I was born in Zaria, Kaduna. And because, in case you didn't know this, and many people in the north will not want to admit, if you needed a house to rent in Kaduna or Zaria, it was an Igbo man who built it. But then I think some people felt it was rubbed in their face. So when the riot came, these guys poured to the street and they were screaming, Tawaye, Tawaye, which means our eyes are open. Tawaye, Tawaye. And that was what led to the pogrom, where Igbos were killed en masse. It was, I mean, it's a story for another day when you are ready for it. It's not something they told me, which sometimes worries me. When I look at the people who are in the House of Reps and Senate, they are boys, they are young men. They did not see war. And they are beating the drums of war and pouring petrol into the fire of Nigeria. And unfortunately, because they have passport to run away, they don't know that the only nation that must not know refugee is Nigeria. You want to know why? You see, we in the South, we are better, we're okay. The North is the problem. Many don't realize that there are 400 languages in the North.
400?
There are 400 tribes, not Hausa and Fulani alone. And the other 398 have been suppressed. So if you push the nation to break, you are the ones who will have problem. The two most homogeneous in Nigeria is the Yoruba and the Igbo. Because all 6 states of Yoruba, there may be tonal differences from the Oyo man to the Ekiti man, but they are all Yoruba. The Igbo man from by the river Niger inside Delta to Abakaliki in Ebonyi, which is beside Cross River, that's one language, even if there are tonal differences. Apart from those two, Nigeria is the only nation that must not know a breaking up. So, what is the solution for Lagos? I think number one, you, the Igbo person who have prospered, don't believe in rumor. Don't spread the rumor. Don't propagate the rumor. Yeah, you have had economic power. In fact, it was great you came. So the Igbo person has been one big good testimony for Lagos. If the Igbo person were withdrawn from Lagos, Jesus, man, there will be no Alaba, no, so many places, no hotels, no place to buy spare parts, no place to buy building material. You will be in problem. There will be big challenges. So the Igbo man has his place. He's done very well. He has prospered. We are one Nigeria. Lagos is the smallest state. It is the most prosperous. I think one of the things one could do is to just find out, look, let's respect each other. So whether you have your business here or you have it anywhere, just realize that this is a place that gave you opportunity. Take advantage of the opportunity, do well with it, run with it. Don't be part of a rumor. Anybody brings a rumor to you, quell it down.
So I think, right, this new Igbo must go narrative just sprung up out of nowhere. And I think it was birthed from this past protest.
Which protest was that?
We had a protest like last
Okay.
Yes, it was birthed. I believe the fact that the Igbos did not want to take part in the protest. And the Yorubas, some of them actually felt, Igbos must go.
Okay.
So that, because that was where it all came up from. There was no conversation where anyone was saying anything. We just saw it on the news. Igbo must go. They're not in support of, the whole protest and all that. So, and this has put some kind of concerns. A lot of people are out there like, okay, is it safe to actually invest right now?
I would have thought that anybody who heard that there's an Igbo must go because they didn't join a protest, they should have just read between the lines to see that this must be a small group of people, because you can't please everyone. There's also the people who say Igbo must go because of economic domination.
Yes, and I saw something. They occupying our lands and all that. So I just I thought, okay, because we have a lot of Igbos who have invested in Lagos, who are not even in the country, but they've invested in Lagos. And hearing all of these things just put some concerns.
What I would say to such a person is keep on investing. It is the noise you hear from a person who feels he has lost everything because he himself was lousy, lazy, laid back. I just told you about the guy, the one-tooth guy, who managed to only get 2 A levels, went to jail, did nothing. When some Nuruddin came from Pakistan, became a neurosurgeon. And the nation celebrates the neurosurgeon because the one-tooth guy cannot do what the neurosurgeon can do. Nigeria belongs to all of us. And we must speak that language, behave that attitude, show that. And if you are abroad and you are one of those who are investing in Nigeria, in fact, when you hear such rumor, you should be part of those who quell it immediately and will say, what nonsense is that? What Igbo must go, what nonsense is that? I believe that at the end of the day also, there is a challenge with the social media space.
Yeah.
When you look at that rumor, there will be 2 or 3 guys who call themselves influencers because they can use it to quickly.
It was just one person who posted it. And
that person is looking for a crowd.
Yeah.
And does not realize that in his attempt to get a crowd, he is hurting the nation. That person himself, Lagos State should take him and take him to court and say he must bring out his proof, or else, because what he's doing is bordering on causing unbelief. Most world wars and national civil wars are built on rumor. I just came from Kigali.
Yeah. The Hutus, Tutsi.
The nation was practically destroyed on rumor. On rumor. I celebrate their current president. He did something smart. They've allowed only 3 languages, so you are not Hutu or Tutsi anymore.
Okay.
You may know your root from where you are coming, but here you spoke 3 languages. When the problem happened, some poured into the English-speaking nations, some poured into the French-speaking nations. When they came back, they became a nation with 3 lingua francas: English, French, and one of the national languages that all of them understood. After that, no chief, no eze, no nze, no oba, no sultan. We're all citizens. I love it. The nation have healed. The people have reconciled. They don't care what. You could tell when you see the person who has an Araboid face that he may be from the part that came from the Burundi. And you could tell from those who have a Bantustan face that this one may be the one that came from the part of maybe Congo or Uganda. But they no longer, they just flow. They've dropped it. Civil war is destructive. And that guy on social media, the reason also he will continue is because he had not had any consequence. The Nigerian civil war had no basis. At all. No basis. I lost my father in that war. It had no basis. It completely had no basis. It had no fruitfulness. It had no benefit. It only destroyed lives, set the nation back, set a region back. So I think if you are Igbo, Yoruba, whatever you are, you should rather, if you have an economic desire, pursue your economic desire. Do all you can, put your money in. If you see land in Lagos, buy it. Go and check that very person who is saying all that, all this rumor because we did not participate, blah, 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 blah. Who gives the monkeys? Delta did not. The Delta area did not participate in general. And the Senate president came out and said, we have told people in the Delta area not to participate. We are not part of the protest. Is there a rumor that Deltans should go? So you see, somebody is, and some of our influencers, all they're interested in is wrecking lives in the name of getting traction. Some young lady hurt my life so much by saying I have left ministry. And the thing went global. By the time she was confronted, she said, well, I'm sorry. I just thought because he prayed for his son to be a pastor. Meanwhile, every corner of the earth, because I did not take her to court, every corner of the earth, I have to be defending myself and say, I'm doing more now than when I was younger. So you see, that guy is a perpetrator and a person who can cause civil war. And he may not realize that his own folly can result in unbelievable challenge. I mean, that is not true. It is not the stand of the state.
Yeah.
It is not the stand of the government. If you are listening to this, you should rather invest more, invest beyond you've ever invested before. Because let me tell you, Lagos is going to one day become the pool of all nations. It's going to be one day the pool of all nations.
Why did you say that?
The reason I say so is because Europe is saturated. America is saturated. That's the reason interest rate is 3-4%. They have slush money. They don't know what to do with it. And I entered this basketball gym in Kigali where the conference was holding, and I was ashamed. I was embarrassed. We don't have a decent convention hall in Lagos. Mention one.
Eco Hotels? Eco Convention Center.
It's a hotel. It's just a whole, and that's one. In a city of 22 million. Kigali has 2.8 million people. The basketball center and their new stadium, I have not seen anything like it in Europe. These potentials are in Lagos. Investors are waiting. We just need to clean up the city. Clean up our roads, clean up our driving system. Stop all this system where one oligarchic person somewhere is the one sending Agberos to the road and messing up the road. Yeah, I saw things we started in Nigeria which they perfected. Confidence. They use Okada in Kigali, but no matter what your bone straight is, you must wear helmet. I was looking for one.
I know we started that sometime.
All those things, we will be the ones to initiate. Euro-African nations will take it, but they will put law behind it. So in Kigali, they know that their buses are not enough. So you can go on the number of bikes, neat. You must meet a certain standard. You must wear a certain kind of clothes to be a biker yourself. Wear your jacket, wear your helmet. You must have another helmet for the passenger. The passenger must wear it. The roads are neat and clean. The Okada must obey the law. I know somebody out there will say, Nigeria, we don't obey the law. We must start. And when we start, somebody should not say, oh, why are they? You see, listen, honestly, part of the demolition is also our disorder. It's part of it. Okay, in some of the estates which we are building, we find that by the time we got there, somebody had built on government land. And they are kneeling down and doing because of God, to your Lord, this. So when the government comes to demolish, they are cursing. Hey, I have received from Omonile. How, Madam, I want to be very careful on this one. This one is a police officer, a senior police officer, and you built on government land. You have no documentation, and you built on government land. Shouldn't you be a protector of the law? And you say, you are about to give me a heart attack.
In summary, I believe what you said was Lagos, there's a lot of hidden potential in Lagos.
Not just hidden, confidence. Anybody who does not invest in Lagos now will regret in 10 years' time. Because some of us regretted not responding to Lagos on time. I came to this Lagos as a young pastor when a plot of land in Okpebi was 500 naira.
Wow.
And Allen Avenue was 1,000 naira for a plot. You may say, oh, that must be a long time. It was a bush. Allen was a bush. Most of most of all those Ikeja areas were bush. I can still see Gbemi Solar Street where Fela lived one time. It was 3/4 bush because a cousin of mine used to stay in a bungalow that was half built there. Allen was bush. Okbebi was a bush. I still know when our church bought 2 plots of land in Isolo for
So right before your eyes, this
Yeah.
whole transformation happened.
Oh, yeah. Plots of land in Isolo was 500 naira. And I can remember my father-in-law, who was our senior pastor, insisting we must buy 2 plots because some people say one is enough. And the man was foresighted. I still remember Akoka. We bought, Akoka was now not far from the university, but we still bought plot of land for 3,000 naira. The same Okbebi, which I wouldn't buy for 500 naira in 1979-80. And I went in 2004 and bought the plot for 10 million. And built 4 flats and a small house at the back. Stayed there for a few years. I now sold the whole place in 2018 for 120 or 150 million. My own investment there was 55. In fact, I made back my money because the 4 flats in front, Turkish International College, their teachers came to live in my house for 7 years. So they paid.
Yes.
And so the buying of the place from me was my profit. Now, no salary could return your money.
That's true.
Europe cannot return your money. America cannot return your money. You want to invest in Africa, the day is going to come when suddenly a lot of places will be cleaned up, streets will do well. People in Asia are now looking into Nigeria because they're tired of Europe. They bought up places in Europe. They have the money and confidence. When the Olympic Games ended in London, Abu Dhabi bought the whole village. They bought the Olympic Village in London. 3,600 apartments. The government of Abu Dhabi bought it in one go. Wouldn't you just like to sell 3,600 apartments?
We're getting there. We're getting there.